Hey everyone, this is Mayro. Welcome back to the Super Mario 3D World Exploration mod. I decided to work on this mod a bit more since people seem to really like the previous episode. Let's start off with 1.3. There wasn't a huge amount going on in 1-3, but I thought I'd show you anyway. First of all, there's the fences, which now we can kind of fit underneath them, almost. If we run at it fast enough, we can make our way out like that. There's also these bridges, which have these little gaps in them. They're not small enough to fall in, but it's enough to trip up Mario's movement. The accurate collision doesn't do too much for the stage, but this bonus room is really interesting because of how Mario runs on the ground. He gets really hung up on the bevel of the ground tiles, and this can make grabbing the blue coin a little bit janky and annoying. Also, he never seems to actually reach full speed because he keeps getting stopped by the bevels. Also, when you jump out, the sky turns red for some reason, and you can walk around down here just like in 1-1. There's actually quite a lot of ground down here for some reason. Now, as for the cloud, there isn't much you can do. The collision is pretty drastically different, but the flat bit is the only bit you really touch in the first place. You can, like, kind of latch onto the sides, but like it's hard enough to reach the sides in the first place. So but here again we have the holes in the ground, and they do affect Mario. Sometimes they even launch him up into the air, which is kind of funny. Next up, we're gonna go to 1-A. The little bevels on the floor on this one do annoy Mario a little bit, but it's barely noticeable when you're running around. In fact, you probably couldn't even tell. I could only tell because of the rumble. But at least we can leave jail now. Now let's take a break from the levels and let's look at the world map. So normally the world map collision is very simplistic, and they have these huge invisible walls built into the collision model. The invisible walls extend up probably as high as that rocket ship goes. Now specifically the World 1 map has two main parts to it. There's the main floor that you can walk on, and there's the extra decorations like the dancing bushes and the flowers. I've added collisions of both of these things so you can walk around on them now, whereas normally there'd be huge invisible walls. The world map physics are a lot more annoying than normal level physics because you can't turn around in the air, which makes the thing I'm about to show you really annoying. If we come up to the castle, the main castle isn't affected because it's a level icon, but what isn't a level icon is the car on the top. Believe it or not, you can actually jump to it. It's really hard though, so give me a few years. There we go, got it. Whoa, it's lagging for some reason when I try and walk in this part. I have no idea why. But also, what's probably more exciting is now I've added collision to the sea, which means now we can explore anywhere we want. Now, I haven't done all the individual world maps yet, so if we try and walk inbound in 1-2, we can, but then we can't walk back out because of the invisible walls. But from running around, there are some interesting things I found, so let's go over them. First of all, if we come over here to World 5, and directly underneath World 6, there's an 8-bit Luigi. Don't know why he's there. You can see this guy in regular gameplay, but like, I didn't know about it until I made this mod, so that's cool, I guess. Hello, sir. Okay, so next of all, you probably want to know what happens if you run to the edge of the map, like what's there. Now, if you're going upwards, you're just going to be running for 10 years until the ground just disappears from underneath you and you fall down. However, if you run to the side, you can actually see something much more interesting. We're going to come up a little bit to World 5, and we're just going to keep on running to the left here, because way off screen there is the World 4 sub-area where you fight the Fire Bro. Also, this wall goes on for unnaturally long. Now, running all the way to the side, you can actually see the edge of the water. Obviously, walking off does what you'd expect, but if you keep walking up this black void, it eventually turned into the normal skybox. I have no idea why it does this, but it does. Alright, welcome back to World 1. Final level we're going to look at is Koopa Troopa Cave. This one, in my opinion, is the most interesting, so let's have a look. This backdrop is actually the same exact one used in 1-1, so it still has collision because it had collision in 1-1 and it's the same object. But if you walk too far away, it just disappears, and this time it's not because of the clipping value. In fact, the level actually loads two of this background at once, depending on where you are. If you're in this area, it loads the background like this, and if you're in the goal area, it loads a different one. As you run between areas, the background switches. You can see the two islands in the back there, they move over. Also, you can fall down here probably. Yeah, cool. And also when you come in here, the background to unload, because otherwise you'd be able to see them through the floor. Now the underground levels have their own special lighting, so when I jump off here, the lighting changes, and when I try to come back up, the lighting goes back to underground. If we walk back, we can leave the camera area and we can see that the wall texture actually continues underneath the level for absolutely no reason. And anytime we walk back in, the camera updates and we can see the level like we're supposed to. Now this black floor extends for really far, like unnecessarily far, especially if you consider the fact that normally there's an invisible wall blocking this area. Also, if you run too far away, the normal Super Bell Hill music will start to play. You can go seriously far, like unnecessarily far. And when you finally get to the end, it is blocked off by a huge wall. Even if I switch to manga mode, I can barely see the star unless I tilt the camera like this. And this line shows you the edge of where the model is. Mario's roll particles are also a bit glitchy in this black void. From this angle, you can actually see the end of the level, although if you look at it in snapshot mode, it quickly disappears. So this is where the two corners intersect, you can see right here. Now I'm going to attempt a 90-degree wall jump out. There we are, we're out. There's absolutely nothing to see here. Now, most of the actual layout in this cave is actually pretty simplistic. Even with the accurate collision, there's not a lot of glitching you can do. These rocks aren't really outward enough to make a difference, you can't really walk on them. It's quite cool being able to jump in and out though, because the invisible walls are gone. We do have the mystery box area, which of course you can run straight out of. The lighting changes immediately, and you can run around on the bottom, just like on all of the other bonus areas. It's also a little harder to wall jump up here because the collision is slightly harsher, because you can't really wall jump off the side anymore. As you saw when we entered this gold area, the shells did not like being in between all the bevels, and they just shifted themselves out of the way. That being said, actually moving around doesn't make too much difference until you fall out the stage. Here's another look at the model in manga mode. This corner right here is the edge of the stage, but for some reason, you can just keep on going past there. I have no idea why you can come this way. There's nothing to see. Apart from this red sky that happened as soon as I went into snapshot mode. Even though the floor is invisible, you can still walk here. I can't even use manga mode to see where the floor is. It just glitches out of the skybox. Okay, now we're half black and half red. This is just 1-2. May I remind you, all I changed is the collision. Oh, hello. We're back at the start. So it looks like that's just a huge black box around the entire level. And again, after the level starts, you can just keep going to the left for some reason. This is less exciting, but now the fences have accurate collision, so you can do whatever this is. Cool. That's the end of the video. I'm not going to work on videos for a little while because I need to finish the ZX Mini Troll level. I want to get it finished by April 1st. Expect some pre-made Paper Mario content. For now, please give my videos likes. My views are going down, and instead of taking responsibility and editing better, I'm just going to whine.